Welcome everyone. This is Acid Roots, and we're going to talk about Mudvayne and their debut, or not debut, but one of their consecutive albums, which is 2005's Lost and Found. Now, really, with this project, a lot of differences were that these guys, I listened to their LD50 album, and I'm still contemplating doing that review, so I decided to go further down the road. This is seen as Mudvayne's most successful album, and main thing about that is they had 4 successful radio songs, but there's one catch to it. It's not metal. So out of the 4 singles dropped, 3 of them charted. One of them was a metal type song, and that was the only one that didn't chart. So really what you're getting is more of alternative metal, almost near post-grunge. And so this was kind of like a blend of sorts as far as what, would be for rock at the time. Now, 2005, I don't know terribly much of as how the sound was shaped, but I'm starting to think that a lot of folks were kind of mellowing out and not being as needing the high octane energy, which I'm not at that point, but there are definitely songs on here that work. Unfortunately, they don't work for me. So the production on this project says to me, out of 12 songs, there were 4 that I liked. Determined, which was one of the ones that was released as a radio song. Determined, Pushing Through. There, about half the album has metal songs on them, but there's usually some sort of reason why it's just not as heavy. So it had more in mind, and I think it was trying to be a more complete project. Because most of the time these metal songs did not chart unless they were just really catchy, like Down with the Sickness or something. But not every band was able to make that type of song, so they had to try something else. The singing gets more infectious, the melodies are a little bit more harmonious, and the hooks are buttery. So that's really what you're dealing with now, and it's just lacing things up as source. But as far as that translates to me, I'm not really ready to advance and transition to this, but I think in the meantime I do have some good music, and I like this project more than I expected. But in reality, as far as songs that are keepers, there were only 4 songs, but there was several almost songs too. So Determined, Pushing Through, Just, Choices, I Am In, those are some of the ones that are metal completely. And I think there's like one more, Rain, Sun, Gone. Those are the manic songs. Songs like Happy and Fall Into Sleep and not Choices, but Forget to Remember. Those are the songs that have more radio appeal to them. And it's just trying something new as far as, or maybe just going with the current trend. It's not something I'm used to, but for what it is, it may or may not work. But for me to like it, I do not like the verses changing as much because you have to get used to it. This is the way I'm set up. I've been set up based on rap songs, so usually the beat captures me first. But that was the reason why I didn't like the radio songs, but they are there, and they might help you guys decide to like them further. So the unheard songs, which are the songs that are good on the project, the songs you need to check out. The 4 songs I liked were Determined, Pushing Through, Rain, Sun, Gone, and Just. All of these are metal songs. They work well. As far as what differentiates Mudvayne from Limp Bizkit and Korn and all these guys, I would say Disturbed is a little bit wilder, and Limp Bizkit's a little bit more trying to think of the word. official, like more tight, clean cut. Korn's a little bit more eerie. I would say these guys are more kind of scream, like they just have the more raving energy. That's the thing about it. They're more raving and more is kind of lunatic type style than anything else. It's more screaming, harder to understand than some of the other ones. But it's still good music when you get down to the guitar, so it's one thing to know. Uh, the Almost songs, there were more than expected. There were 4, so that would bring the total up to 8 out of 12. I Am In is another metal song. I forgot. No, I did mention that. That one talks about suicide. I looked it up. Choices was 8 minutes. Was the only reason why I wouldn't have liked that song. If they would have shaved like 4 minutes or 3 minutes, 30 seconds off of it, I probably would have. That would have been song number 5. Forget to Remember is one of the radio songs, and this is one that I do like. And I'm adjusting to alternative metal and stuff, but they did keep the verses the same, so that was the main reason why I liked it. Falling Asleep and Happy both have something that I like, but they change it, so that's the problem with me. And then Pulling the String, that one's kind of the oddball just because I can't tell what sort of genre that one is, but it does have good style to it. It's just hard to pick up on. So that one's kind of a left field song, and it's up to you as far as it's not released to radio, so it's just an extra one. But alright, I give this album a 6.5 out of 10, mainly because 4 out of 12 would be like a 3. But then all these songs that I almost liked, which is just a song I'm on the fence about, that brought it up, and I think some of these I may like further. So I'm just going to give it a 6.5, 8 out of 12 or 6 out of 12. 7 out of 12 could do extremely well, but the problem with it is the best known songs are not the songs that are my favorites. So I'm really having to, I feel like if I were to meet any people that like this album, we would kind of be on 2 different, like they would be the off switch, I would be the on switch, just because they like these songs and I like these. So that's the only thing that kind of alienates people, because my favorite songs are not the best known ones. This is their most known album, so it really gets manic. The Future, Mudvayne has not been around since 2009, so I'm kind of unsure as to what they're going to do. And the Social Score, which is how well this plays around groups, like I said, depending upon who you are, you like metal, you like alternative metal, kind of gives you both, but the fact that it's not as clean cut as Limp Bizkit or like Linkin Park or some cases, I mean, it's a little bit less organized than Slipknot, if that helps. So if you thought Slipknot was kind of unorganized, these guys are like 2 shades darker than that. So that's what you're dealing with. Just depends upon how much you're willing to. That's basically it. So can it be topped? I think the answer is yes. Just a couple more metal songs and a radio song that would have emphasized their skill in regular metal would have really helped. But there were 3 songs that boosted this album, so they're just tamer. But alright, subscribe for more fun. I give this album a 6.5 out of 10 and a 6 social. And social is how well it plays around friends.